talk about the digestion of food in the stomach or how food got digested in the stomach. So when the food from the oral cavity enter the stomach through pharynx and the esophagus, the food stays in the stomach for about 4 to 5 hours, during which the food thoroughly got mixed with the acidic gastric juice by the muscular movement of the walls of the stomach. So by various movements of the walls of the stomach, the food got mixed with the acidic gastric juice to form a substance known as chyme. So chyme is a substance where the food got mixed with the acidic gastric juice. What do you mean by acidic gastric juice? Acidic gastric juice are the juice that is produced by the gastric gland. You all know that the inner lining, that is mucosal layer of the stomach, gives rise to numerous gastric gland, and these gastric gland mainly consisting of 3 types of cell, that is mucous neck cell which produces mucus. One more type is peptic cell or chief cell which produces pepsinogen, and it's an enzyme which is produced in the inactive form. Parietal cell or the oxyntic cell which produces hydrochloric acid, yes, acid, and it also produces an intrinsic factor which helps in the absorption of vitamin B12. So these are the content that is produced by the gastric gland, and that juice is nothing but the acidic gastric juice. It is called acidic because it consisting of hydrochloric acid. That's why it is known as acidic gastric juice. So when the food thoroughly got mixed with the acidic gastric juice, the digestion of the different food particle takes place in the stomach. Because of the presence of different enzyme, the digestion of food takes place in the stomach. So if we talk about the digestion of carbohydrate, there is no digestion of carbohydrate in the stomach because of the acidic condition of the stomach. There is no digestion of carbohydrate in the stomach. If we talk about the digestion of protein, proteins got digested in the stomach because of the presence of enzyme known as pepsin. As I already told, pepsinogen enzyme is produced by peptic cells or the chief cell in the inactive form, and this inactive pepsinogen, when it get exposed to hydrochloric acid which is produced by parietal cell, oxyntic cell, it get activated. So pepsinogen get activated upon exposure to acidic nature, that is hydrochloric acid which is produced by parietal cell or the oxyntic cell, and it get activated into pepsin. So pepsin is the active form of the pepsinogen, and this pepsin is a proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic means a protein splitting enzyme. So pepsin acts on the protein and it converts protein into proteoses, peptones and the polypeptide, that is simpler form. So that is how protein digestion takes place in the stomach. If you talk about the digestion of fat, fats also get digested in the stomach by 2 types of enzyme, that is lingual lipase and the gastric lipase. Lingual lipase, as the name indicates, it is produced in the oral cavity by the gland known as Ebner's gland. But in the mouth or the oral cavity, it is produced in the inactive form, and this lingual lipase get activated when it is get exposed to acidic content of the stomach. That's why there is no digestion of fat in the mouth. Though it is produced in the mouth, there is no digestion because it is produced in the inactive form, and this lingual lipase get activated when it is exposed to the acidic nature of the stomach. So lingual lipase along with the gastric lipase. Gastric lipase is a enzyme that is produced by the gastric gland. So both lingual lipase and the gastric lipase in the stomach acts on the fats and it converts into diglyceride. So that is how digestion of fat takes place in the stomach.